Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
I've seen a number of Bronco owners installing these door storage bins over the mesh nets. To be honest, my wife and I didn't really like the look of the mesh net inside the bin. We did think that Ford should have put some kind of better storage on the door though. We can just see that mesh net getting stretched out over time. After I did some searching around for other options, I found these half-height storage bins. I thought this might be a good compromise. They're made from injection molded plastic and are really thick and sturdy feeling. They don't have a rubberized liner like what I've seen with some of those full-size bins, but I don't know if that's a big deal. There'll be a link to these in the description below if you're interested. To install them, if you don't have a Torx PLUS Bit Set in your toolbox, you're going to need to go into the tool bag Ford supplied with your Bronco. They've included both an L-shaped tool and a bit with the right Torx PLUS size needed. For this install, I used a quick change nut driver with the Torx PLUS bit. Installation is really easy. You just have to remove the lower 4 screws on the mesh net. The screws are not super tight and can be loosened easily by hand. Unlike the full-size bins, the net won't be coming off since you don't need to remove the top 2 screws. The bins have protrusions on the backside that fit right into the mesh net's holes, so they line up perfectly. I tightened the screws down until they were snug, careful not to get carried away and over-tighten them. For the passenger side, I cheated a little and used my impact driver, which made short work of removing the screws. For the installation, I put the top 2 screws in by hand just to get everything lined up, and used the impact driver to put the screws in. Word of caution here, I didn't crank the screws down with the driver. I know I could have cracked the housing or stripped the screws by doing this. I only put them in until I met a slight resistance. I then went around and tightened the screws by hand until snug. I think they look pretty good. They're a fairly close match in color to the door. It would have been nice if the manufacturer molded in some of the detail that's in the area surrounding the mesh net, but I don't think that's a showstopper. I know there is some concern about these things encroaching on leg space, but this didn't seem to be an issue for me. I did notice that when I moved my leg toward the door, it didn't impact the storage bin because of the fact that it's not as high as the full-size bins, so I'd say that's a plus. Bottles of water and soda cans seem to fit well in the bins. There's only a little wiggling when there's 2 bottles in the bin, though only one would move around a bit more. Putting the stuff behind the net holds them a little tighter, but I don't think that would really be that necessary. I like them, but my wife looked at them and wasn't impressed. She could take them or leave them, so we'll try them out for a while and see how it goes. Hopefully some of you found this helpful, or at least brought to your attention this alternative type of door storage bin. See you later.